I'm live, and Sean, you are also.
Hey,
We don't have any viewers yet, but fuck it.
we are live.
We are live. So, sir, I watched your show earlier tonight. It was a great show as usual.
Thank you.
And can you plug that show? What's it called? The Washington Football Weekly or something?
Yeah, Washington Football Weekly, Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. Me and my guy Will Kramer. He says he's sorry he cannot join, but the little ones they needed to be put to bed.
Okay. So I had some follow-up thoughts after watching your show or while watching your show, and I didn't want to disturb your because you have a routine. You go bump, 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 hit your marks and shit.
Structure.
I'm not structured, dude. I'm fuck structure. I've been structured all my life. I'm retired. Fuck all that structure
I can
bullshit.
dig it. I can dig
Okay, so I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, so the thing is I see you guys winning a lot this year.
Yeah.
You got your quarterback. You ain't got to search for him no more. I fully believe you got this good a quarterback in his first year, and he's smart. I've been watching him play. He's smart.
Yep.
He's not Danny Dimes. He's not trying to be a bulldozer and run through a end zone head first and shit. He's working his check downs, which don't got a lot of check downs there to work, but still he works his check downs. You got McLaurin, and I would like to see him hitting Eckler out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I would like to see that a lot more. Who else you got there? Who's your slot guy?
Luke McCaffrey. We have Olamide Zaccheaus.
I almost forgot about Luke.
Luke
almost made a liar out of me, dude. And then he just faded. Where's he at now? What's he doing? Why ain't they hitting him, man? Come on.
He's getting 1 or 2 receptions. Look, the offense that Cliff Kingsbury has us running, everybody is eating. The only people that they really focused on hardcore is Austin Eckler and Terry McLaurin. Everybody else just gets bits and pieces. Noah Brown's getting a lot of reception. He's emerged in this. I think Luke just he has not.
Noah Brown. I forgot about Noah Brown. Yeah, he's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, Luke just hasn't gotten his opportunity. I mean, he's been in there. He had a big catch in this last game, but he also had a big drop that would have moved the drive along. So, he's good, and I'm very impressed by what he's doing. But at the same time, he's just another wide receiver right now. So,
right,
until teams really start focusing on maybe a Terry or Zach Ertz or and that's the other problem. There's nobody on their team that really scares you. You know what I mean? So you don't have to double Luke. You know what I mean? Or you can just sit in the zone and if Luke doesn't get open, it's really all on if Jaden can get it to him. So they've been trying to get it to him, just nothing real consistent.
Right. Anyhow, that wasn't the point. I leave all that X's and O's about Washington up to you and Will. You guys do a very good job covering that. So my point was you're winning a lot. That's going to put you. Well, what's your record right now? 6-2, 6-3,
6-3. Yeah.
Okay, 6-3, and I expect you to win some more games this year. I mean, maybe not this week. Maybe you can win this week. I've seen you guys do this to them before.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I expect you not to be picking in the top 10 this year.
Yeah. Now, unless we trade up.
Right. And that means it's a little bit less caliber player you guys will be looking at. Not, it's what, where you think you're going to be trading. I think you're going to be picking in the 20s. I expect you to be in the playoffs. Right.
I think at this point, and with our schedule, I too agree. I think we should, unless we completely get hurt or something completely falls off, we should definitely be in the playoffs. And I'm thinking in the mid to low 20s, 22, 23. Now, mind you, the last couple years prior to the Jaden Daniel draft this year, we were picking in the 16, 17, 18, anywhere between 11, 12, and 19. So,
Right.
there's a little bit of talent. Maybe you can move up, maybe you can move back, and you can get some things. But yeah, we're definitely not going to be picking high. So this is where, but at the same time, one of the things that we were looking to draft was a corner because we needed a lead corner. If we can really, with us getting Lattimore, if we can get him and sign him and keep him on the team for a couple years, that throws out having to have a top corner. We got that now. Now we can address either getting the best player out there or address wide receiver or wherever else there's a hole on the team. So I'm excited that we're not looking to have to get that number one star guy like a JD5 anymore because we have that. Now let's see what other pieces we can make to help bolster the team.
Exactly. All right. So that was my next point. You already covered that pretty well with the what position are you looking at? Because position means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're looking for a top corner, then yeah, you can go in the second and third rounds and find them. Don't you have offensive line concerns also?
Yes.
That
Yeah, that's something that's very concerning to me, man. We gotta.
guards you can get a top notch guard
Uh-huh.
even as far back as the third round, but
Mm-hmm.
tackles
Mm-hmm.
you get outside the top 10, it's going to be hard to find tackles then.
Right. And look, the way Wiley's been playing, I mean, he's been playing above his weight this year. I mean, he's had issues the last couple of years, but the way that he's been playing this year, he's definitely trying to cement himself a role. And then on the other side, we have Brandon Coleman. It's a rookie, from TCU. He has definitely been a sight for sore eyes. I mean, we've been trying to fill that left tackle position ever since we let go of Silverback Trent Williams years ago. So it's been a long time coming. So right now he's doing well. Right now the O line is doing great, but part of that is the fact that Jaden doesn't stay in the pocket. Jaden moves out of the pocket or he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. So our sack numbers are drastically down from what they were last year. You remember Sam? He was picking himself up off the ground every single week.
Oh, a
Now
good
Jaden.
mobile quarterback is a lineman's best friend, unless the mobile quarterback is just chaotic.
Right.
And we've seen that before.
Oh yeah.
That'll kill a line too if they have to hold the line too long,
mm-hmm.
or get. He's got a good quick release too. So when you run screens, you don't usually end up with too many linemen downfield there or nothing. I don't think I've seen. I haven't watched all your games. I don't know if you get a lot of those penalties or not. A lot of teams do because indecisiveness with these rookies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think what stops that for us is Cliff and the play calling. A lot of quick passes, a lot of quick screens, a lot of stuff that gets the ball out of his hands quickly, and it kind of moves things along. We're not long and drawn out, and having something where the lineman is going downfield or where the wide receiver is jumping off sides. I think one of the major issues that we've ended up having is maybe the wide receiver blocking too long and getting tagged for a holding, or having one of our receivers kind of run the pick play or something like that, and they call that all of a sudden on us. Like
Right.
honestly, we've been doing great with with how we've been playing. It's been more drops than penalties that I've noticed.
I laugh my ass off every week. Every week I see rub plays out there. Rub plays. And then you'll see a pick get called, and it's just the same. It's the same play. It's the same damn play. It's just sometimes officials get tired of seeing them. Okay, I can't just keep letting this go by. Let me throw the flag.
And that's the problem. But you talked about it when we were on the show. It's like, some points in the game, they're, let them play, let these guys go. And then other points, it's like, oh, now I have to really.
I kind of get the official's point of view when you keep throwing rub routes out in front of me. The official knows this is a pick. Okay,
oh, yeah.
This is a pick, guys. Just stop.
Yeah.
And then you do it so often, and he's going to lose it, man. And say, all right, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's ticky-tacky to me.
Oh, it is. It definitely is, and that's the thing that stinks. And my issue, look, if that's the call, call it. I have no issues with that. My problem is when you wait till the very end of the game to then make a call that essentially decides the game. Like that you can't do. That's you messing up the game for people.
Yeah, you know what?
What up,
Jaden's
Gerald?
not the only person that's impressed me this year. I'm finding it really hard. You got to go back to Marino and Elway and them guys to think of a better draft class for quarterback than this one has been.
Oh yeah,
I mean, the Denver quarterback, Bo
Nick.
Nick and um,
My boy Drake.
Drake London. I mean, not Drake London.
Yeah.
Drake May. Drake May. Man, he's impressed the shit out of me, and he's out there on a crap team, dude.
Exactly. He's the only positive out there. And you know where I stood on that. I wanted another North Carolina quarterback. I wanted to get Drake. I am very happy with what I have. Don't get it twisted. And I completely agree. What up, Jim? You know, Jaden definitely has impressed me. But your concern is as same as mine, man. That's the one reason I wanted Drake, because I did not want to have another RG3 situation where you have this guy running, scrambling, and just gets hit and hurt randomly. Even the rib injury from the Panthers game wasn't.
RG3 was, come on, let's get it straight now. RG3 was basically the size of the guy in Carolina. Okay.
He was tall, though. He was a lot taller.
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I've seen RG3 standing next to Jackson, man. Come on. It's like a midget standing next to Jackson. Come on.
No. Oh my goodness. All right.
He might be 6'1" tops. That he can't be much taller than 6'1".
You know I'm looking it up. 6'2".
Oh, okay.
He ain't Bryce, I tell you that. But yeah, no, he ain't Jaden's 6'4", 6'5", I think. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing about it though is the difference. RG3, when he ran kind of wild. Like he was a track runner. So he would run out there and he'd turn the corner and he'd take it downfield, and he was looking to run. It was one read and go.
He didn't run with purpose. He ran scared, I think.
Right. And that's what ended up
happening. That's on the coaching staff at the time, because they could have designed plays for that instead of just here, run. You know?
Well, but that's part of the issue, Johnny, is that's the difference. I think the main difference in now as opposed to then. Now the coaching staff, the owners, everybody 100% is behind this quarterback. Then Dan Snyder was behind RG3. The coaching staff wanted to get Kirk Cousins. In fact, after that first year when Robert got hurt, the coaching staff actually, Shanahan came to Dan Snyder and said, look, let's get ahead of this. Let's trade RG3 out and let's go ahead with this backup quarterback with Kirk Cousins. Remember, our coaching staff at that time was Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, McVay, LaFleur.
Yeah.
What's the guy from Miami? Their head coach, McDaniel. Yeah. We had 4 or 5 coaches that have been dominant since leaving us. And then we had them on that team this year, but the way everything was run at that time, it was just so split. Then you had RG3's dad coming in there speaking for him and things of that nature. Look, Robert was great for what he was, but I think his major flaw was Dan Snyder gassed him up, and the fans did. I mean, at that point, we hadn't had a real winner since the early 90s, and this was 2012. So for us, this was the second coming of everything great. You know, that's why my expectations have been tempered a little bit, because with Jaden, I know how good he can be, but I know it just takes just that one little mess up, that one little roll of the ankle, that one little hit where his knee gets knocked out of whack, and then all of a sudden, we're right back where we started. So I'm nervous about that.
That's where I'm okay. That brings us back full circle to what the topic is: building the team. Okay, you've got, as far as I'm concerned, you got your lockdown quarterback. Okay, no searching. Don't have to worry about that no more. You got it. You can, and you got 4 more years on his rookie contract with the 5th year option. So it's time to put that money to use and draft well.
Yeah.
not just draft well, but draft. I hate to say the term for need because every team drafts for need.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They don't take best available players. What if the best valuable player is a kicker? You know?
I think they'll move past that if it's a kicker.
Yeah.
We need them. But
Yeah.
I
So,
think you're right on that. You don't. That's what people say, best available. But if it doesn't fit, then it doesn't make sense.
right.
So I think
Exactly.
that's what I think. What getting Lattimore does for us in the
Oh,
trade, and then
name
getting.
again.
I know you hate him.
Cover your ears, Jim.
And what getting JD5 does for us on offense is that takes two positions out that we no longer need to be focused on. Now all of a sudden we can look at other places on the field and say, okay,
Well,
where
wait a minute. Back up. You're not getting Lattimore in his prime either.
I'm not, but this is the thing. I'm not even super concerned about him playing as much as what he's already been doing.
I mean, don't take that position off the table in the draft either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but in where we're at, we're not going to get somebody the caliber of him. That's my issue. So right now for Lattimore, I'm taking him for his experience. He has gone up against you guys, Evans, 2 times a year for the last 3 or 4 years. So we know he's battle tested. He's going to have to play big name guys, and CeeDee Lamb and and with the Eagles and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and all that. But my biggest thing for Lattimore, and the reason why I'm not as much concerned about that, as long as we have him in house, we have his mind, the experience. It's the same thing Wagner brought to our linebackers. Now Luvu's great. Chin is in there playing well at linebacker / safety, but Wagner playing as good as he is, he's also putting everybody in the right spot. That's what Lattimore I think is going to do, and he's going to help raise up our young corners. Samerstill, great pickup from Michigan. Team leader Alex
You
Luke.
do know how hard it is for an old veteran player to give his experience to somebody who's going to take his job, right? And Lattimore's not like hey guys, come on, let's all kumbaya and shit.
But that's the other thing. Name one player on our team that even comes close to Lattimore and secondary.
Well, that's what my point is.
Even if he
and you got cap. You were just telling me that you got like 40 million in cap. Go out and find a good one, man.
But so that goes
with a little bit more youth in them, right?
Well, that goes to my next point, though. And what we've seen that these coaches and this front office is doing is they are going for what fits. If you look at the players that we've got, a lot of these guys aren't perennial Pro Bowlers or studs, but they're guys that have played with Dan Quinn, Dante Fowler Jr.,
lunch bucket guys, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Guys that have played with them. So that's where they're going. They're going with familiarity. They're going with guys that have played in the system and guys that know how to play in the system. So whereas with Lattimore, now he is maybe a little past his prime. He's not going to give us 17 games every year and everything like that. But what he's been able to see, having a guy like him, that's then going to look at some of these other guys that are coming in, in the free agency and everything and say, oh, you're over there? Bobby's over there? Let me go over there and run with you guys for a little bit. He is almost bait for other people to see if we can bring these guys in here and see if we can get them on the squad. That's what I love about our coaching staff and our front office now is they're filling and addressing needs, but they're not just bringing in a random player to say, all right, we need this position here, you're here. They're bringing in guys that can immediately flow and mesh with the guys that we have in Washington. And it's refreshing, Johnny.
Well, we're in kind of like the same boat. I think that you guys have your quarterback. I'm pretty sure we have our quarterback with Baker. Yeah. We went about getting them in different ways, but at the end of the day, we got our quarterbacks.
Yep.
Now we can work on the rest of the team. And one of the main things the Buccaneers are going to have to work on next year is not losing Godwin.
Yeah.
We can't give up Godwin to a Washington football team that's going to come and use him to kick our ass. Can't do that. Nope. Ain't happening.
Come on over, Godwin. We got money. We got money. Well, now we know we can't get Evans because we got Lattimore, so.
But we can. They'd be all kumbaya together, man.
It would. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sean's worried about it, Jim, because he picked the Eagles to beat them this week.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jim. I said it. 30 was, I think, 31-28. I got Philly winning. I mean, look, playing the game we played against Pittsburgh and putting them all that energy and all that, and then having this short turnaround on Thursday. Either we're going to be really ticked off and play above our weight, or we are going to fall in this one. And if there was two games that I thought we could slip up on, these were the two games back to back, playing both Pennsylvania teams, Johnny, and not looking too strong on it, man. I'm definitely nervous.
It's just an adopted home state, dude. Come on, man. I'm from Florida, Pennsylvania, and Baltimore. So what do you want? And New Mexico and Texas and wherever you want in between.
Wherever else, right? Throw Montana in there, throw them all in there, man.
The only place I haven't really spent a whole lot of time was in North Carolina. So
that's my state. That's my state.
That's why I just can't root for your damn. So I
No.
man. I can root for if I see something special in a team, an underdog team especially. You know, what I mean, that's what I go for. So.
Oh yeah.
Our situation is, I like our pass rush. We have no secondary, dude.
Mm-hmm. Are they all still hurt? I know you were talking about they got hurt early in the year.
Yeah, we had a lot of them hurt, but still, even then, we were giving up too many yards all last year too in the past. And it's those big plays that kill us, you know.
Yep.
We're pretty good at maintaining the short field, but we can't give up those big chunk plays. You know, that's where we get killed at.
I understand that. I get that.
Our containment, I love our containment. Our edge guys have finally learned to settle down and just keep containment on these guys and stuff, you know, and that shows because our leading sack guy this year is Vita Vea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that means we're getting our pass rush from the middle of the line, which is what I've always wanted. That means the containment guys are holding their containment, and the pass rush is getting to them from the inside.
Mm-hmm. You showed it with us. You showed it against us. JD was not able to scramble out. Now, mind you, a lot of people have said, "Oh, that was just the first game," and yeah, maybe we were kind of vanilla with some of the things, but Jaden was not able to escape the pocket. He wasn't able to. Your linebackers and your guys had speed and they had the angles on him, and it really was able to shut him down early on in the season. I was impressed by y'all. Honestly, before the injuries, y'all were my pick to go toe to toe with Detroit for the NFC. You know,
we beat Detroit.
Oh, I know.
And we beat Philly, and then we got hurt.
Right. Exactly. So you did things for us. Thank you. But now you got hurt.
I'm my main concern as far as building from now on for us is we've got to get a replacement for Levante. As much as I hate to say it, this might be his last year. He's still balling out. He's still getting the tackles. He's doing his job. It's just that it shows that he's getting burnt up more often than he ever was before. You can tell he's missing a step. His knowledge helps out, but you got to have somebody for him to give that knowledge to.
True. Yep.
So I would like to see them draft. And look, it wasn't like we got Levante in the 7th or 8th round or nothing like that. It wasn't no surprise. We knew what we had when we drafted him.
Oh yeah.
And it was a high draft pick, and we're going to have to spend a high draft pick to replace him, or you're just going to have to have somebody and hope you roll the dice and get lucky. You know.
Yeah. What about Savache Dennis? Any linebacker?
Dennis, I don't know what's going on with him, man. He's better in the passing game than what is it, Mentor?
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen much from him lately, so I can't tell you. I know Joe Tryon is coming on. He's developed a couple more moves. He's holding his place on the line. He's even bull rushing people now. So
yeah, I see that, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: are you guys still dealing with the remnants of your Super Bowl team?
Yeah, we still got quite a few of them, but we're the second or third youngest team in the league too. So
Do you need to move on from some of those guys, some of the older guys? Not Evans and Godwin, but you talked about David being on his way out.
David, this is probably his last season, or next year will be his last season.
Like, how many years does Vita Vea have left?
Well, he's got quite a few. He's still young, man.
How old is? Yeah, let's say, how old is he?
He's not 30 yet. I know he's like 28 or 27, something like that.
I always get him and Haloti Naha.
Haloti.
I know. I always get them confused.
That was my guy, man. You saw Puka Nacua. Here's the thing about those guys, man. The Samoans, man. They do got a temper, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was a weak ass punch, but you want to call it a punch, but still,
Puka,
you put those Samoans out there, they got a temper. You gotta think about that when you drafted them. Haloti, man. Haloti used to throw. Well, RG3 can tell you about Haloti.
Oh yeah. RG3 can definitely tell us. Good God, that guy. Thing snapped his daggone leg. I couldn't believe it.
Oh man. We seem to have the same issue that the Ravens have. The Ravens. I'm like, I turned my Ray Lewis jersey around, man.
Really?
Ain't no way Ray Lewis would be happy looking at that pass defense the way it is, man. They're still getting a good pass rush. They got a great pass rush, but man, the secondary, that's horrible, man.
The run game and the offense definitely tries to disguise some of those defensive weaknesses, but that secondary, to your point, man. I mean, Humphreys. I mean, if healthy, he's still legit, but some of those other guys it does not look good. You saw at the end of the Dallas game, they allowed them to just run all up down the field on them. Now, mind you, they were on the field for a while, so they were tired, but still, that secondary isn't doing great. And look at both Bengals games.
Marlon Humphreys is a ball hawk, and it's good to have a ball hawk on your team. Yeah. It's also bad to have a ball hawk on your team because when he doesn't get the ball, he's giving up the ball. He's not. Give me a steady pass defender who don't never get an interception, but can keep the receiver from getting it.
Yeah,
all day long. That's just do your job, man.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that.
I mean, it's nice to have somebody that can turn the ball over, and the punch outs this season, man, and all the teams, man, we're seeing a lot of. And that started with the Colts, man. What was his name?
Who? No, you're talking about Peanut.
No. He began it, but it wasn't like he perfected it. The guy with the Colts, Leonard, or
I know Leonard. Yeah, 53. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was a boxer, and he perfected that punch the ball out thing, man. Anyhow, so moving on. You guys get this opportunity to sit back and watch your team build through a draft until you feel like you're ready. And then you go all in and bringing in the names. People that have won championships, the headhunters, basically, you know what I mean? And I think you guys are like within 3 or 4 years of being in that title game.
Honestly, I'm being honest with you.
I kind of see you where Detroit was a couple years ago.
Right. That's right. Yeah, I say we're about after this year, about 2 years out, honestly, from seriously making a run in the playoffs. If we can get healthy, if we can keep a lot of these guys, you have the Ertz and I think Wagner, some of these guys are only on 1-year deals. So it'll be interesting to see if we can continue to get these guys. But I think the other thing that we got to think about, we have a lot of coaches on our team that have been head coaches. Anthony Lynn, Cliff Kingsbury, a couple other guys down there. But the thing about it is, can we keep all of these guys in-house? You know what I mean?
That's where the struggle happens. That's where you're keeping your like Mike Evanses and your Godwins and those guys intact. You don't want to rock the foundation. You want to keep the foundation there. Who are your foundation guys? Who would you say right now are your foundation guys?
Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, both of them hurt. Terry McLaurin, obviously. I would say, I mean, those are the guys that have kind of been around. I mean, you would always want to say a Bobby Wagner and all that, but over the last couple of years, he's clearly been kind of going to, team to team to team.
Yeah.
I would like to say Frankie Louvu and the way that he's been playing.
I love Louvu, man.
He's been balling out. His energy is infectious. Another one of those Peloponnesian, Samoan type dudes that is wild and ready to go.
Yep. You gotta have one on your team. You gotta have a Samoan on your team if you're gonna be relevant for anything.
Oh, I totally agree. Sammerstill, the rookie. I genuinely think he could be one of our leaders in the next couple of years. I would like to see him get a little bigger, but his instincts, his intelligence, his football IQ through the roof, man. And it's definitely something that you get excited
he's a rookie.
about.
He's going to get bigger. I mean, they always do.
Well, some of them. Forbes still is the same weight he was when he got him, 160.
Yeah, but it's a harder weight, right?
Yeah. He's got to get. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen to Forbes.
I mean, look at Tyreek Hill when he came into the league. Everybody thought he would never make it the first season and stuff.
Yeah,
but he's still basically down in his same weight, but he's harder. He's harder.
Exactly. And that's what they'll build muscle on him and stuff like that. But I mean, with those guys, obviously, if we can keep Austin Seibert, I mean, having a good kicker is very underrated in this league. A lot of, you got, Tucker and Baltimore, Boswell over in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? You got some of these teams, Jake Elliott with the Eagles. Us having a kicker, if we can consistently have this over the next couple of years, that is going to be such a huge,
I think the Ravens just signed Tucker to that big contract, man, and they might be regretting that. So.
Yeah, he's been struggling.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. So
he hasn't hit anything over 50 yards this season.
It's going to be interesting, but it's tough. So I got to give him the benefit of the doubt, man.
Well, he's the most consistent kicker in NFL history. So,
right.
I mean, but that as long as he keeps playing and missing,
exactly,
that record might go away.
That's where. So that's what it is for me. Like a couple pieces on the defense, a couple on the offense. The issue with this team and why it's hard to look at, who are your foundational pieces? Because we have 30 plus new players on this team this year that have been brought in. That's a credit to our front office, credit to Adam Peters, credit to the coaching staff, bringing in quality guys that know how to play in the system. So as long as Quinn and those guys are here and, we can keep these guys in house, there's a number of pieces. Fowler Jr., Dante Fowler Jr. came over, who played with him in Dallas and played with him in Atlanta. He had, in the last 6 games, he's had 6 sacks. You know what I mean? One of the top defenders, or at least the way he's playing. Our defense right now is playing, by the numbers, we're top 15 defense. So we have pieces, but the problem is I don't want this to be a 1-year thing. So I'm wondering who is staying and who we can convince to, hey, we're trying to make a run at this in the next couple of years. Who can we convince to stay?
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
My dog's about to start barking at me. He's sitting right there staring at me, just like. I was talking about not knowing your team or seeing new faces all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
man. Once our injuries hit, I was looking at the field like, who the fuck is that?
Who are these guys? Yeah.
Do you guys have a fullback on your roster?
Alex Aramah, Aramah.
Yes. Is he in pass protection a lot?
We don't use him nearly as much as I thought we were. Cliff likes to run that air raid type offense, so we'll instead of having a fullback in there, we'll have a running back and maybe a wide receiver back there, and they don't really ever lead block or do anything like that. So no, I'm like you, Johnny.
You guys don't never go through tight end sets. I mean, you got that
So
You
we
got a
do
tight end.
2 tight end set. We did a whole bunch of that this week because we were trying to chip TJ Watt and neutralize him or slow him down. But we don't use, at least, and maybe I have not been taking a look to the extent that maybe I could, but we have not used a fullback that much, if any, this year. But again,
I saw Cam Hayward come up the middle on you guys a couple of times there, man.
God, he wreaked havoc, man. Him and Alex Highsmith, and
Yeah.
prayers to Alex Highsmith, man. I don't know if he tore his ankle or if he
Dark
snapped.
Knight, but that was a bad injury. It was
ugly.
horrible.
It was, man.
That's the Dark Knight, man.
But yeah, no, we oh man, crap. Yeah, we don't use the fullback as much as we need to, and I think that's more to the wide open offense.
We have a tight end, which you probably know, Gadecki, with a number 40 number on him.
Oh yeah.
So that's, to me, that's, dude, you're a fullback. Shut up.
Oh right. Okay. Did they claim him as like an H back? I know that's what Cooley was with.
No, he's listed as a tight end, and that's how they play him. But he also is played like a fullback. So
right.
And
most of them in the backfield. Oh yeah.
So I was just wondering. It's just like the Bucs are notorious for taking a fullback and not making him a fullback. You know what I mean? Like with Mike Allstott.
Yep.
They screwed his whole fucking Hall of Fame boat up because they listed him as a running back. If he was listed as a fullback, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame
already, easily.
Yeah.
How many fullbacks are in the Hall of Fame?
Not a whole lot. There are some, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
The earlier eras had, I think, Matt Suey's in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure. Walter Payton's fullback.
Yeah.
I think the guy from San Francisco is going to end up being in the Hall of Fame.
Juszczyk?
Yeah. And Ricardo with the Ravens, I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Is Lorenzo Neal in there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
If not, that's a travesty.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, see, that's the thing with John Riggins was just that elite. I mean, he was a Hall of Famer, but he technically was fullback, but then also we used him as our running back.
Yeah.
But he's technically on there as fullback because we had Joe Washington as our tailback, essentially. But but he was just that great. No, yeah, the fullbacks. Hey, look, I came from when I played ball and when I coached, I played in an I form. So it was wham left, wham right, power right, toss, sweep, cross buck, dive, all that stuff. So there was no time our offense was on the field where the fullback was not on the field. And that was my personal protector. So
can you talk to yourself for just a second, man? I got to get this dog out or he's going to raise hell on me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's going on, people? You know who it is. Your boy, Sean Spencer, trying to be here with my guy, Johnny Dean, in the building. And hey, look, Jim, to your point, man, I am definitely nervous about the Eagles' resurgence. I mean, when you have, I think they're on a 5-game win streak. When you have, the weapons that they have, and Jalen Hurts and Saquon now in the backfield doing reverse what's it called? Reverse hurdles over cats and doing all that. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, two-headed monster, a wide receiver. I mean, it's definitely a cause for concern. And in this game, I think one of the biggest issues is going to be Jahan Dotson, just because he's rearing to play the team that let him go.
Oh, you are so scared of Jahan Dotson now. The guy who called him soft as cotton
He's
candy.
not going to do anything for the rest of the season, but I guarantee you, when he plays us in this game, he's going to sit here and try to go off. And I'm going to tell you why I think he's going to have a good game. It's not because he's actually that good. It's because the same problem we're going to have with Philly is the problem we have with you guys. Too many weapons, too many people to try to govern. If you double up Evans, then Godwin's going to get open.
If you could take McLaurin and Barkley out of the game, which, trust me, that's not an easy take. Okay,
AJ Brown.
If you can get them out of the game, at least where they're not getting freaky ass fucking jumping backwards over somebody's ass plays and shit, or 300 yards a game, whatever. Just limit them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Dotson's going to be that big of an issue, dude.
I'm telling you, man. Look,
We saw it, man. We saw it when he was with you. Let him catch the ball one time down the middle and sandwich his ass, and he won't catch the ball again the rest of the game.
But Johnny, first and foremost, we got to look at how poor our secondary is. Our secondary is weak. Okay. So even if we're thinking about taking out AJ Brown, even if we're thinking about
Lattimore will be on the sidelines yelling at your guys, if you don't hit him, I'm going to hit you.
Right. And what is that going to do? It's not...
What it does is it gets in his head. He's already soft. That's what you said. That's what you said. And I've witnessed it. I watched the games too. I've seen it. He's already soft.
Yeah.
Get in his head. All you got to do is rattle his brain one time, and he'll start dropping them balls. If you don't, he does have great hands.
That's right.
He does.
Exactly. And look, let's go back to your game, because this is the first time that we've had to face a team that has the amount of weapons at wide receiver like you guys did. You guys had Evans, you had Godwin. Now, if you stop them at that point, Jalen McMillan he got caught a touchdown, and he had one other one that was wide open that he could have caught for it. It's not that that Jahan is so good, and that's not that McMillan was so good, but we don't have enough bodies to cover and double up everybody. He's gonna get open just out the backfield, and then you got Goddard at tight end. We are susceptible. What did K. Dotton do against us? You know what I mean? We're susceptible.
Cade didn't do much in that game. Cade stepped it up. He's gotten 4 touchdowns since Evans left.
Yeah, but then
so
the other side
he's basically Evans. You know what I mean?
The other side of it is the run game, and now you got Saquon coming out the backfield. Now he set out the second half of that game against Dallas, so I'm hoping maybe that will be an issue. Maybe he doesn't play as much, and then that will negate that run game. But even still, we have been letting people all over get it. The guy, Bucky Irvin and Rachaad White for you guys. James Conner.
You and Will mentioned how to beat them earlier tonight. And I don't think you took it seriously enough, because that's exactly how we beat them. You get that front line putting pressure on Hurts. Hurts gets rattled, dude. Hurts gets rattled.
And that's what I said was one of my keys to victory. He not only gets rattled, but he carries the ball kind of like a loaf of bread. And all it takes is one good hit, ball will pop out. Look what happened in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He's scrambling out. The guy just touches his hand. The ball flops out, and Bolton takes it back for a touchdown. So I totally agree with you.
He don't like as Tom Brady never liked to be touched, but Hurts don't have that release. You know what I mean?
And then it gets in his head. And like you said, once that happens, and he goes to the sidelines, and he just gets in that little pouty mood or whatever, then we can start getting to him. But the other thing
I love about my quarterback now, man. Come on, man. That dude is a warrior, man. Baker Mayfield is a fucking warrior, man.
Baker is. I love Baker, man. I loved him in Cleveland. I loved him in college. He's a fighter. He's a tough guy.
Nick fucking Bosa has his hands on you, and you still get the first down. Throw the ball for a first down while somebody's got your other arm, man.
How many times did we have Baker wrapped up and he would break out of the sack or he'd do something, man? The guy is a baller. And that's the thing. Baker to me is like a Jeff Garcia, gutsy. I think he throws a lot better than Garcia, but he's gutsy. He's one of those that you're not going to take him down without 2 or 3 guys hanging on him, and he still might complete the pass with that. And I love that about Baker, man. I love that he's got a resurgence with you guys.
I wanted him when he left Cleveland, and then I saw what happened with Carolina, and I was like, oh, they ruined him, man. Fuck that. I don't want him now. Then he went back to the Rams, had that good game, and I was like, maybe he's got his mojo back now. Who knows? And when we took him, I was like, I wasn't thrilled, but I was okay with it. I wasn't complaining. There are a lot of people that were. They're not complaining now.
Oh, no. Well, you got to remember, Johnny, I mean, you literally come from Tom Brady and then go to what? Trask and Blaine Gabbert for a year? Didn't you have that? There wasn't there a year in between.
He was there. He never really played. We've had Trask. Trask is our backup. That's our solid. That's a solid backup. Even though he hasn't seen the field, he is our backup.
Will he ever? Is so? You talked about what
I don't know. Baker kills a lot of the chance. I just don't want Trask to go somewhere else and then play against us.
All out, right? Well, how realistically? Because how many years do you think you can keep Baker? I mean, he's not going to take 20 years like Tom Brady, but how many years do you think he's got where he's at his top?
He's still young though, man. He's like 28, right?
Is he 28?
Yeah.
Yeah, because him and Lamar came
We
in.
signed him to a 3-year deal, I believe. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm sure Trask is going to end up going somewhere else. I just, God, I hate to see that. I hate to see that.
Baker's 29.
Okay.
7 years in the league.
So he's got another 13 years to go, man.
Yeah, no, I'll say number 5 to 7. 13.
No, 13. 13 is that's for players that are like they're always going to be a backup or whatever, and they're on the way out. So look at Joe Flacco, man. Look at Flacco, dude.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him that he had to go to the Colts and try to do this stuff, but
hey, wherever you can get a job at this point. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but he was on the couch and relaxed, sitting in his living room watching football when Cleveland was the perfect team to bring him back in, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet they wish they had him now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. Although I know where you stand about your boy Jameis, but I keep wanting to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was so glad he got that.
Yeah, did you see him last week?
I know, that's the thing. When I saw them against the Ravens,
There's my Jameis.
When I saw him against the Ravens, I was like, oh, he could be great. And then I was like, no, here we go. He looks better than Watson. I'll say that.
Anything looks better than Watson. Watson don't want to play. He just wants to get paid.
That's
literal, man. He don't want. If he wanted to play, how many games has he been out? I mean, how many games has he played in since they brought him over there?
Oh yeah, since they brought him, I don't know. He's played us twice. I'll tell you that much. I think this year he's played like 5. I think we played him in week 5, so maybe 6 games before he went out.
Jameis
has played the last couple.
Jameis has played 2, and there was the other guy played 1. So
who's the other guy?
Oh, I can't remember what his damn name is. The guy that they got from the Steelers.
Oh, Mason Rudolph?
Rudolph, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was over there.
Ain't that funny?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
The fight between Mason Rudolph,
right,
and
that conversation.
And now you guys are in the same locker room together.
I bet that conversation was really interesting.
I think he earned some respect though because he stood up there and
he took a helmet to the head and didn't even move.
Yep.
Wait, is he over there? All right.
Don't make me question that because I'll waver.
He's at the Titans.
Oh, that's right. He is. Well, who is the damn backup behind Jameis then? Because they put the other guy in first. Because remember, Jameis was 3rd string.
Right. I'm looking that up right now. Players. Who's that guy that came in for them last year? TJ or PJ Walker?
I thought you were going to say Hendon Hooker.
Hendon. Oh, DTR.
Oh, yeah.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Yep.
Yep.
Damn, he's not. What's his name? Not even on their roster right now. Watson.
Right. Well, he's out for the year. He's done.
Yeah, because now they got Winston, Bailey Zappi, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Zappi. Oh my God, he's still got a job in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'd rather go with DTR.
Well, he didn't do very well when they put him in.
Really? Well,
really, he stunk it up.
Well, All they need to do is just hand the damn ball off. Like, I don't need to do much out here.
Winston had the hot hand, and that's why they went with him. And that hot hand got cold. That's Winston. He can get hot and cold, hot and cold. He'll have one game where he'll throw 500 friggin' yards and 6 touchdowns, and the next game he'll throw 6 interceptions and 200 yards.
Very streaky.
Yeah, and he always seems to find a way to throw a pick 6.
Mm-hmm.
I swear he's got more pick 6s thrown than anybody in the league. That's what kills you. I don't mind the interceptions. Every quarterback's had their bad days with interceptions.
Yeah.
But those pick 6s will kill you, man, especially in the fourth quarter. And that's where Winston seemed to always love to throw his pick 6s with us.
So they can keep him in. They got a bye week or week 10. They got a bye in week 10, which is, I believe that was last week. So then they got the Saints, then Pittsburgh, then Denver, Pittsburgh again, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Ravens. So, well, their season is pretty much over. But maybe the Dolphins, maybe the Bengals, and maybe the Saints. Maybe they can pull those victories out.
Pittsburgh's got all of their division games in front of them.
Oh yeah, they got the Ravens this week. Then they got the Browns, and then they got, I think, the Ravens coming up not too long after that. Pittsburgh, yeah, they're definitely backloaded, just like the Bears.
The Bears.
Oh, Bears.
I wanted better for Caleb.
Honestly, for me, it's the coaching. The coaching. I mean, obviously, you saw Shane.
I don't think it's Caleb. I think he's got all the attributes. We saw what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And they also don't have a line. Their own line. They cannot seem to address that daggone line.
Thank you. That goes back to building again.
Exactly. But I think the fact that they got Shane Waldron out of there and they fired him. The guy that they brought in, Thomas Brown, is one of the coaches that Washington was looking at during our coaching search. Coached under Sean McVay, one of these new up-and-coming coaches that a lot of people have been talking about. I'm hoping he does good for the Bears because listening to Nick and Delilah just depressed each week. I'm like, damn, you guys got the number 1 pick. You got Caleb. He's supposed to be the franchise changer. But there's either that or there's just a curse on Chicago and quarterbacks. Because
I wouldn't say that. I'd say they're more of a curse on the first round, the first pick. Because it's usually always the second quarterback that goes off the board that has the better career.
We can go back and look at Zach Wilson. He wasn't great. And then when did Josh Rosen get picked up?
Go back as far as Peyton Manning and what's his name?
Ryan Leaf. Leaf was just. He just never should have came out of college.
He shouldn't have got so pumped up. All the people around him got him all pumped up, and he started getting all this money and shit, and he just went blowing it on dope, and that's
a shame. That guy.
That was before the NFL put those walkthroughs with experienced players talking to the rookies and shit and telling them, look, man, you got to stay away from this. You got to get rid of your family. Family is not good. They will help. They will kill you.
Friends and all that stuff. Everybody asking for money.
Yeah, you take your family, you put them down, and you give them this, and this, and then that's it, right? Then you got to live for yourself.
Reminds me a little bit of Todd Marinovich back in the early 90s. I went to the Raiders. He just burnt out because his dad had him playing and practicing since he was a toddler, essentially, man. But that guy, he's another one that kind of got to the point where he was like, all right, man, I'm just done. I just don't want to do this anymore. And then he started drinking and smoking and gallivanting.
Yeah, gallivanting. That's a good old word. You got that from your daddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, man. Let's end this right here. We covered pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I would have loved to have got Will on here with you, man. I could have just sat back and orchestrated and let you two go at it and stuff. That's what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, hey, we can do it. We just it's got to be around the time of the kids. You know what I'm saying? When they're going to bed and things of that nature. But we'll work it out, man. If we see y'all in the playoffs, we got to get back on here.
Building a franchise comes down to this. If you have the right pieces at the right time and you get your quarterback, keep your money low and strike when it gets hot. When you feel that the team is ready for that last jump to get to the Super Bowl, that's when you want to go out and spend the money, get all these names, get the names, fill all the holes you need to fill up with star players. And that's a proven success story right there.
Mm-hmm. Or
I don't know unless you have Andy Reid.
Or unless you get the GOAT, and then he just brings over all these other players.
Well, we were already in that kind of position, and he brought those players with him. You know, we were needing that quarterback. We've never drafted a good quarterback. Never. We've never drafted our franchise quarterback.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Have we? No,
you guys got our last franchise quarterback and took him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. But we didn't draft him.
No,
I think we might have drafted Mark Rippon, but he wasn't a franchise for years.
Rippon. No, he wasn't.
Out of Washington State. Theismann came from Miami. And
I thought he went to Jacksonville first, but maybe not. Rippon. Mark Rippon.
No, because he came to us and he was on the sidelines of Super Bowl 22. So I think he came to us in 87. He didn't start for us until after Doug unceremoniously was let go in 88 after he won the Super Bowl. So about 89. And of my favorite player, my favorite Washington player is Doug Williams. Johnny knows that. My favorite player of all time is Barry Sanders, and second, Joe Montana. So
Leroy Selman and Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
That's mine.
So. Leroy.
And then Rondé, and I could just go through a list of Bucs.
You're about to say any Bucs players.
But Earl Campbell is in the top 5 of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah. Oh, I love
First player I ever got to see live. I mean, you know, my dad took me to the game, you know, Houston.
Ooh, I love Earl. Yeah. Earl. Darryl Green. You could throw Darryl in there.
I love Darryl Green too.
Mm-hmm. Huge.
And I love his nemesis was with Chicago. The speedy wide receiver that they used to have battles. Willie Gault. Yeah. Yeah. They used to have battles when they played, man. That was great.
Mm-hmm. I was a fan of Eric Dickerson when he came out of college.
I hated the way Dickerson ran, dude. That's upright and with the goggles. Come on, man.
I loved it. I was somebody that loved wristbands and all that. I loved it.
But I was still enthralled with Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith at the time. So
yeah,
I just their style of running. That was what I knew. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then Dickerson comes out here with this stand-up style of running. Like, how the hell is he moving like that, man?
It would never drop.
He was a badass, though. Ain't no lying about that shit. Eric Dickerson was one bad man.
Look, you put a Coke bottle on his head, he wouldn't drop.
People are still chasing his records, man.
Oh yeah, 2,105 yards in a season, still the most rushing yards in a single season by any back. And you know what? You know what the Rams gave him after that year? They gave him a carrot cake. He's allergic to carrots. They didn't have money. You know what? What's his name got for getting the rushing title? Walter Payton. Payton got a Ferrari. Yeah, Eric was like, "Yeah, I'm getting out of here."
Carrot cake.
Go there.
All right, man. That's
all right,
it.
Johnny.
We got the soccer guys out here now. So.
Yep. Shout out to you, Phoenix Leroy.
Later.